So, very nice to meet you.
How are you? How's the past 4 years been?
Listen, first of all, let me start off by saying that I'm so happy to see you and so happy to be back with the Unfiltered. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a minute. I mean, we've seen each other like outside of the Unfiltered, but it's nice to like see each other in the Unfiltered atmosphere right now.
Yes. Why don't we call this episode the Catchup episode? And let's figure out what we've been doing because
It's been quite a while. Last episode was January this year. So
what?
it's been
It's
almost
November.
a year. It's been almost a year.
Okay, let's do that. So, welcome back to the Unfiltered, and this is episode
28.
Sex,
Relationships
Careers.
and just plain life. From the experience of two Latina actresses.
Welcome to the Unfiltered. Hi, I am Vanesa Tomasino.
And my name is Maria Bruson.
Yay, we're back. I don't even know. Okay, so since the last time we were here, you got married.
I got married.
I got divorced.
You got divorced.
I mean, I was separated for almost 3 years, but I was legally divorced while you were getting married.
Very contrasting, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, and I do think that we should talk a little bit about that because it's two different experiences. And I don't necessarily think that one is better than the other, but I do feel it complements each other because a lot of people see divorce, for example, as a failure, and a wedding as an achievement. But if you,
Yeah.
but
It's not necessarily exclusive of those things.
exactly. And so there's so much baggage behind the notion of getting married and the notion of getting divorced that I think it's worth exploring.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get into that exciting world of women getting married and divorced, tell me a little bit of what you've been doing.
Well, so I did get married. That was June this year. So it's been a little over 4 months. It's been amazing. It's been a wild ride in the best way possible. We did move in with each other before getting married in legally. So that was
prior.
September last year. So we've been living together for a little bit over a year. And it's been amazing. Honestly, I can't complain. It's always challenging in certain aspects, but I feel like everything's about compromise and balance. No one's perfect, not even people who think they are perfect.
Wait, what? Are you
You're
saying
not
I'm
perfect.
what? Okay, this is news to me. Santa Claus doesn't exist. Bye. What do you mean? No, I'm kidding. I know I'm not perfect.
Yeah, I feel
Almost
like
perfect.
I feel like I do believe in moving in together before getting married. Like, I know we live in a country where it's like that's something very taboo, and people don't really do that because of their parents, their grandparents. There are certain expectations and certain rules to the game here in El Salvador. But I feel like if you are already engaged and if you have the opportunity and if you can be open with your family about it, I feel like it's very, very much worth it, because then being able to experience what living with this person you're supposed to be with the rest of your life with,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's definitely worth it, because what if it doesn't work out?
Yeah. I mean, and it can always, and for so many reasons, once again, for so many reasons, it may not work out. But yeah, so you guys lived together. How long did you live together before you got legally married and then married through the church?
So we were living together for 2 months before our legal wedding.
Yeah.
Because here in El Salvador, I know there's other places where they don't have 2 weddings. I had 3 weddings.
She had 3.
Kind of. So, we do have to be legally married at least 2 to 4 weeks before your religious wedding. So that's an El Salvador thing. I know in Colombia they do it the same day.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
because
wow.
I was talking to this friend who just got engaged, and she's like, her fiance's family thought that she was joking when she said like, oh, so that like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do the traditional way, or like, do you want to split everything half and half, or like the costs of the weddings? And she said weddings, and they're like, what weddings? She's like, oh yeah, we do the civil wedding, and like the
like,
groom is supposed to take care of that. And
they're like, girl, who are you marrying aside from my son?
and they laughed, and they were like, no, you're kidding, right? Like, you're kidding. And she's like, no, like for real. In El Salvador, the groom takes care of the ring, the dress, shoes, and veil. The civil wedding.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The dress too?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'm taking note for my third wedding. Okay.
Yeah. The dress, shoes, and veil, the civil wedding, and the music and the flowers of the religious wedding.
I did not know that.
And the honeymoon.
Wait, hold on. Are there rules about this? Like, where
It's
did you find this out?
Along the way.
What do you mean along the way? Is there like an
'Cause, like,
encyclopedia I
like,
should read about?
I feel like it's just tradition. You know, like your parents, like that's something that your grandparents did. And like it's getting passed down. But nowadays it's different. Like nowadays people just do half and half. Or if you marry like to a wealthy man, then he takes care of everything. Or if you marry a wealthy woman, then she takes care of everything. Like
wow.
It's really, it depends on, that's why she asked her fiance's family, like, so do you want to do this in the traditional way? Do you want to do like half and half?
That's so funny.
80-20, like, you know, anything's possible. Honestly,
Yeah.
now weddings, there is no rule book, you know, because I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw this video of this girl saying like, honestly, I'm so sick of paying like 10K bachelorette parties for my friends. And I'm like, what? You're spending 10K to go to Greece for a bachelorette?
No.
And you're telling me that this happens 5 times a year because all of your friends are getting married right now? Plus going to a destination wedding in Italy.
No.
Plus the gift. And I'm like, yeah.
I mean, once again,
wedding culture is getting really crazy.
and that's also, I guess, the circle that you're in.
No,
Like,
it doesn't happen like that.
no, I'm not
happens in
saying
the
you.
US.
I'm saying this person. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's her circle because I mean, I haven't gone. I've only gone to like 2 destination weddings in my entire life.
Mine?
Yeah, yours and some other friend of mine who's now divorced. Yay, congrats. So I haven't actually done, and the whole bachelorette thing. I think I haven't gone to a bachelorette party, like a real bachelorette party. You know, like I've gone to like soirees, dinners, you know. But once again,
Yeah.
I believe that it's because of my age. You know, like for example, if I were to get married again, I wouldn't have a bachelorette party. Like I just tell you guys, like show up on my place and let's have some drinks and let's, you know, talk. But I think in your 20s, you're more used to that. And I think it's because of this whole idea. Like I was watching Love is Blind, right? Obviously, because I watched Love is Blind because of you, by the way. It was your fault.
Such a good show.
It was her
Binge-watch show.
fault. I had never spent so much time watching a reality show like I did with Love is Blind. So thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
So they do a lot of bachelorette parties, and one of the common like sentences that I hear from them is, "Let's go crazy because it's my last night a single woman. Woo!" And I'm going,
That's so insane to me.
yeah, and I'm thinking, what? First of all, do we celebrate that it's your last night as a single woman? What does that mean? Are you dying tomorrow? Does this mean that
Yeah.
your husband will never let you go out again with your friends? Does this mean that you will never drink again and get plastered with your friends? Because I doubt that they're going out to hook up with guys. I mean, Domingo, don't get me wrong. But aside from Domingo, I think that not a lot of people actually go cheat, you know, on their last night. I mean, they may make out with somebody, but, you know, so what are we celebrating really?
I mean, yeah, I never understood like American bachelorette parties because I feel like it's such a bizarre idea to celebrate like your last night being single. Like for me, it's more like let's celebrate that you're beginning this new chapter of your life.
Yeah.
For me, that makes more sense than
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's my last night free. Like, what does that even mean?
She will never dance again.
Yeah. You will never do anything
Fun
again.
ever. Yeah, it's and I was also hearing the parents talk, right? Love is Blind once again, and they're like, "Oh no, my daughter, this is the last time that she's gonna sit on the table as a single woman. She won't be living here anymore." I'm like, wait a second, do you want her to be here forever? Because that's creepy.
Don't you pray for your children to like leave and like be
Bye,
independent.
babies, get married. I want
My mom
grandchildren.
celebrated when I left
Of course.
her house. Like
It's
she
normal.
was thrilled when I left and like went to live.
Just think about it. Why are you crying? Because and plus, she's coming back for Christmas. She's coming back for Thanksgiving. What do you mean? Like, this is the last time I'm going to see my daughter at the table as a single woman. What does that mean? It makes no sense to me. And I'm a mother. I have 2 children. And trust me, I am not like that. I'm going to be happy for my kids. If they find the person that they love at that moment, I'm going to be happy for them. I'm not going to be crying over them not living with me anymore. That's just weird. I'm sorry for the parents out there listening to me. I'm going like, oh, you don't get it. I do. I have two boys, but they're not ours. We don't own them.
I mean, you've done the work then, because like they always tell you like your children are yours for 18 years, maybe less.
They're not
Because
even mine.
we always say like Enzo's gonna live. He's gonna live. Leave.
Enzo is going to leave me when he's 15, and I'm gonna be like, baby, bye.
He's gonna have a master's degree by 15 years old. Yeah, he's gonna leave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a different type of mom. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But the computer is so far today.
You can cut that.
No, I want them to see the struggle because the struggle is real. Yeah,
that's this year in a nutshell. Our struggle to like keep recording the Unfiltered.
Listen, 2024 has been
Wild.
rough. Has been rough.
Wild.
I need 1,000 more episodes to talk about
everything
that's happened. And I'm not, I'm smiling right now because I'm just happy to be here and I'm happy to see you. But the truth is, I've had some horrendous things happen to me this year. Like when I mean horrendous, I mean death. I'm not talking about divorce. My divorce is great. Not because I didn't love the person. I think my ex-husband is amazing and I'm so happy to see him happy and I'm happy. So that's a plus. But I'm talking about death. I'm talking about all these weird things. Like, I should write a book now.
Tough.
It's been a tough year. So hopefully I can get to those episodes later. Not today, because today we're catching up and it should be happy and fun and upbeat. I am forcing myself to be happy and upbeat. But yeah, I congratulate you for this new chapter of your life. I was there to celebrate.
She was there since the beginning and like
I was.
The evolution of our relationship and
it's funny because you rarely get to go to a wedding where you know both people so well. Mm-hmm. Like I cannot express to you how filled with joy I was that day for different reasons. Just seeing the two of you, not only as a couple, but because I know you individually. I knew her husband years before I knew her. And we were very tight. He always knew that he could come to me with whatever. I'm a tomb, and I love him very dearly. And then I met you, and I love you very dearly. And then you guys were together.
yeah.
And so for me, going to this wedding and thinking I'm seeing two beautiful people who love each other, who found each other, and I was so privileged to see you before and after.
Mm-hmm. Imagine you never came to El Salvador to
Shut up, Maria. I hadn't thought about
we
that.
We would have never met. It's so crazy. We always think about that and we're like, because you know how Carlos is currently in a hiatus from acting.
The multiverse.
So I'm like, oh, but like you love it so much and you love to act and you love film and this is your passion and like it used to be your dream. And he's like, I mean, it is my dream, but if this is everything that I accomplished, then it's enough because like we were able to meet through acting. It's so crazy.
That's so crazy. I hadn't thought about that. Mm-hmm. I hadn't thought about that, you guys. Huh. Food for thought.
Food for thought. And you know, like the red string theory? We were connected like way before SAS.
Yeah.
Like they
even have a commercial, a TV commercial where the two of them are in the commercial together, hugging and taking a picture together.
But he never
they didn't know each other.
Spoke to me. He was so, I don't know, like he didn't want to talk to anyone. I don't know.
Well, he's always been reserved. Like he's always been very quiet, very
Yeah. The
reserved.
thing is, like, it's so weird to think that we've been connected for our entire lives, and now,
Because that before that, oh my God, it's like I'm telling your story. Because before that, her mom knew his mom when she was
my
pregnant
mom
with
was
Maria.
dating, and yeah, my mom was dating, um, my husband's mom's like nephew or something. So
Crazy.
like, my mom would take me to like their
Crazy.
like birthday parties, piñatas, and everything, and Carlos remembers seeing me as a baby.
That's so
It's
crazy.
so weird, yeah.
That's
It's so
so
weird.
weird. Well, I'm happy you guys are together. It was a beautiful wedding, and you guys were so happy.
We had so much fun.
It was an amazing wedding. I have to say, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, so destination wedding. So, yeah, they can be expensive. But who are these people spending so much money on bachelorette parties?
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, like the wedding industry has been taking this road that I'm not willing to take a part of. Because like
What?
if one of my friends comes up to me and she's like, "You need to spend like 10K on like my bachelorette," I'm gonna say, no,
No.
thank you, but no.
No, that's so weird.
Yeah.
And I think we're also losing track of what marriage actually means. I think that you're celebrating the union of two people, which, by the way, statistically speaking, close your ears, darling, because you don't want to hear this. Statistically speaking, women, the moment they enter a marriage, their life expectancy lowers, and everything in their life, actually, the quality of their life decreases. It's so sad to hear that because we have been bombarded with the idea of love, thinking that that's something that we definitely need, but you realize that love is not enough. And
Oh no, never,
No.
never. For like the young audience we have, like you never
Hey,
marry
kiddos.
out of love and love only. Like
Yeah.
you can't, because like love can be very ephemeral, and love is a decision you make every single
and it's
day.
work, and it's work
It's
every
a lot
single
of
day.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for women, we carry most of the weight of the household. That's labor that we're putting in for free. The same with raising kids, right? Like they will say, like, "Oh, you have to be a good mom because biologically that's what you're meant for," but it's not true. The fact that we can reproduce doesn't mean that you have to reproduce, and having to carry the burden of everything. I tell you, I mean, I have two boys. And right now, I don't know if I told you this, but I am doing it solo right now with taking care of my house. I no longer have nannies or anyone that
Oh,
can help me
really?
clean. No, nobody's just me now, just by myself, like I used to do it in Canada. And so I tell you, it's a lot of work. And I'm a full-time mom. I'm a full-time actress. I have my own businesses and stuff like that. It takes its toll. It's really exhausting. And if you don't have a partner that is willing to help out, it can really affect your life. And by life, I mean your health, your work, everything. So that is work that is it's not accounted for when you talk about the work in a relationship, the emotional support that we give our partners. My partner, he'll come from work and he'll be like, "Hey, I didn't have a great day. Let's talk it out." And I'm always super nice. And I'm like, because that's what we do. We support each other. And I'm like, "Yeah, tell me about your day." And he'll start telling me about his day. And we'll spend maybe an hour, 2 hours just talking about how complicated his day was. That is emotional support that we as women give, And sometimes we don't even have enough energy to give that support, but we still do. And if you have kids, you give that support to your husband, to your partner, and to your children. It's a lot of work. So statistically speaking, it's not in the best interest of women to get married. That being said, the entire wedding industry and marriage industry is geared towards women. It's almost like they know that if we find out that it's not a good bargain for us, we'll definitely say, no, 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 I don't want to go down that path. But they make it so beautiful for us. I mean, those dresses are stunning. The parties are amazing. The idea of the guy kneeling and giving you a ring that you, by the way, could buy yourself. You don't need to wait for someone to buy you a ring. It's so romantic, but then we forget the happily ever after. What happens? That's why in movies, it always ends with the wedding. What happens after? And then children come along. And that's devastating. That's the make it or break it. I mean, I tell you, I think that's when most affairs happen. And it's because women are so tired and men don't understand, and it's just a big mess. So I think that it's always good to celebrate every step of the way, but we also have to be very aware of the challenges that we're going to endure with every decision that we make. You know, that's why we were talking about marriage being seen as a celebration and divorce being seen as a failure, when it shouldn't carry that social burden, because you don't know how it's going to be. Even if the statistics say it's not good for you to get married, if you end up in a good marriage with a good, solid man, hey, more power to you. Yeah. That's really good. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it.
And if you divorce a scumbag, then that's obviously like good for you.
Even if you don't divorce a scumbag, you know, because sometimes
you're just not compatible. Right?
Not anymore. Yeah. The thing is, people change, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, you always hope that the person that you love will change with you, but also your needs change, your lifestyle change, and sometimes you even change jobs and countries, and the person is not always willing to be there, and with a reason, because they also have a life. And so I think divorce, for some reason, is always seen as a problem, and as a failure, when in fact it should be seen as moving forward. You know, I've been divorced twice, and I am in very good standing with both my ex-husbands because they're fantastic people. We talked it out. It was never a sort of like, I hate you, we're never going to talk to each other. You know, that's ridiculous. Like, we were grown people. Even though the first time I got divorced, I was 25, so I was fairly young. But I had enough maturity to look into his eyes, and I knew that he wasn't happy there anymore, and I wasn't happy there anymore. And we said, you know what, this is not working. Are we cool? Mm-hmm. He's like, we're cool. And now we're super good friends, and I love his wife. His wife is fantastic, and his kids, he has 3 kids. I love them. I love them. They're such great kids. And when I see them, I just hug them, and they're like, Vanesa! I love them. But for some people, that seems weird, you know? And I think it's because we have such a negative connotation of relationships when they end. People think that you have to hate the other person. Somebody said to me the other day, how can you be friends with somebody you've slept with? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't even remember when I slept with, you know, like, it doesn't cross my mind. Like, I don't, it's true. You know, that's ridiculous. Like, does that mean I should be ashamed of my body or my interaction sexually with this person? Because I don't feel ashamed at that time. I'm wearing love.
It's because I don't think it's going through that path. I think it's more like, isn't it awkward, or isn't it like, or because many women can't like disconnect like the feeling attachment to a certain person when it's been very intimate. Mm-hmm. So like I think it's more in between those lines than to be ashamed of who you are, like your body or your actions. I feel like it's more like, you know, because for some women are more sentimental and more sensitive to those types of experiences, and they might feel like a certain attachment to a person after, you know, being intimate. I feel like it goes more like down that path. I
don't know if I'm just different, but I don't feel any attachment towards them because I don't know. I think my sexuality comes from my relationship with them first. Mm-hmm. So I look at them as human, and I love them as human. But then the sex just comes in as part of intimacy because I have a relationship with them. Mm-hmm. But the moment the relationship is gone, the intimacy is gone too. Like, I don't, you know, like I've never seen one of my exes like, oh, I remember I had sex with him. Like, at all. Even with the father of my kids. I mean, we had 2 children together. And to be quite honest, I can't even remember how it went down. Like, I can't. And it's nothing because of him. It's just because for me, it's the moment a relationship ends, that's it. Everything about that relationship is now gone. I don't think about the past. We occasionally think about events, for example, like remember when Aaron was born or things like that. Yes. But regarding intimacy, I don't even remember. Mm-hmm. you know. And like I said, it's not, I'm not saying it in a bad way to him or to me. I'm just saying that that part of the relationship is dead. So it's not a component anymore, you know. And I'm friends with pretty much all my exes. You know, I don't think we've had any animosity or any tension. It's always been mutual. It's been like, oh, this didn't work out. Obviously, there are mistakes in my path with people who were not, they were like situationships. And with those people, it's just I stepped away and I'm like, not worth having you in my life. But for the people that meant something to me, you know, well, we're still friends, you know?
Yeah.
And so anyway, so for me, divorce has always been a way of freedom and autonomy and having that agency of looking at the other person and saying, I love you so much that I'm willing to let you go.
Yeah.
You know, because I know that you need to grow and it's not with me. And I need to grow and it's not with you. I thank you for that time. And I'm happy that in the case of my last husband, we have these beautiful 2 kids. I thank you for the gift of my children. But I want to see you happy. I remember actually, I did write that down for him. Like when we separated, I remember writing it down and saying to him, I want you to be happy. And I know it's not with me and that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like it's also like a thing, like about being unselfish. Like I feel like it's so selfish to like stick and try to keep eating the same thing over and over again when you know you're not going to be happy and you're preventing each other from finding that happiness that we all deserve.
We all deserve to be happy and we all deserve to grow. And for me, like I said, divorce has been an incredible blessing and learning experiences. And I would do it again. Like somebody said to me the other day, well, now that you've been divorced twice, you're not going to get married again, are you? And I said, why not? I can do whatever I want. Married. I love getting married. And why not? If I feel like I love somebody right now, I will marry them. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But life is too short to be caught up in this paradigm of I have to fit my life into this square. I will do what I feel I want to do at the moment without hurting anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say, like, as long as, you know, you're not hurting anyone along the way. And if it's because you want to feel whole and you want to feel happy and you want to feel complete, you know.
Yes. So I think we should stop putting so much pressure on people to get married and stop putting so much pressure on people to not get divorced. I think you have to choose what's best for you. Don't judge yourself and don't let anybody judge you, especially because remember that people who judge are people who are not happy with themselves. And they're probably judging themselves so much. So if they judge you, just imagine how horrible it is in their head that they're judging themselves all the time. So you do what's best for you, boo, okay? Before we end this Catchup podcast, or episode rather, I heard that you are going to become a puppy mommy.
I am. We are becoming like parents with our first baby, but she's a dog. Okay. she's a fur baby. Yeah. So I remember I was telling Vanessa before starting the episode, and she's like, "No, please, just like let's talk about it during the podcast." But I told her briefly that I remember so vividly when I first came into SAS. And we were talking about, I don't know, like maybe like control. Yeah. It has something to do with class, obviously. So she like, you know, like she kind of did a parenthesis about this chapter in her life when she first got Pepito, her dog. And she said that it was so terrifying. And I'm like, I mean, Pepito is a little scary sometimes, but like, why would it be so terrifying? It's and terrifying. Now I understand her. Like, that's why every time something like this happens to me, I get reminded to like not judge someone if you haven't gone through that first. Because now we don't even have our dog, and I'm already like super scared. I'm scared to lose her. I'm scared to leave her in the house. Yeah. I'm scared if something happens to her. I'm scared to not be prepared. I don't have anything at home right now. I don't have her bed. I don't have her collar. I don't have like her feeding bowls. I don't have anything. I feel so scared. I feel so out of my comfort zone. Yeah. But I'm so excited. I can't wait to have her. She's not even like 2 months old yet. So, yeah. Here are a few tips for everyone who's adopting a puppy and for people like Maria and I who are A-types, controlling people. Yeah. Control is a way of avoiding failure. It's like being a perfectionist. You don't want to fail. And you're afraid that
if you fail, people are not going to love you or that you're going to be less than, right? So bringing a puppy to your life or any sort of a cat or a baby. I love that I mixed both. But it's true because for me, Pepito
Your first
was
child.
my first child, and that's where I struggled with postpartum depression, even though I didn't give birth to Pepito. But I swear to God, I fell into this huge depression because what happened was, I feel like I want to do this very epic, like the year was 2012. I had just graduated. I have, first of all, I had been acting for almost 10 years. I was very successful at it. I actually had just finished my second biggest lead, and I had been working on set for like 17 days, and it was great because I finally had financial security. I finally had my big break. Do you want to press the button? There you go. And then I had, at the same time that I was filming this movie, I was also graduating from my BA in political science, and I had graduated with honors. It was my very last day. It was my last day on set, and it was my last day at school. I was on top of the world. I was super skinny and very muscular because I was working on my health and all that stuff. And I was looking forward to the next chapter of my life. And I had been in a very stable relationship with my partner at the time. We had been together for 6-7 years. So, it's been a while. So anyway, so we go to Mexico to see his family. And then we see Pepito in a store. And my partner goes, "Oh, I want him." And I'm like, "Oh, he's so cute."
He's like,
But that's it.
yeah.
And he's like, "No, I want him." I'm like, "Okay, sure. Let's think about it." And we left the store. And the next day he's like, "Oh, just remember Pepito's face." And I'm like, "Oh, he was so cute. He was this small, this small. It was 1 pound in my hand." And he just kept on going. He's probably looking out the window going, "Come get me. Come get me." I'm like, "Oh, you're killing me." And so we go back to the store. Pepito's there. He's like, "Meow." I'm like, "Oh." And we adopted him. The moment I was walking out of the store carrying Pepito and he started to cry, I started shutting down. And I just thought to myself, what did I just do? Because I finally was on top of the world. I had my independence. I was financially stable. I was free. And I had just tied myself down with this new life that I had now to take care of. I froze. I started crying. I started shaking in the car. And my ex-husband was like, "Calm down. If you can't do this, I'll raise him." That's okay. And I couldn't speak. I just kept on looking at this 1 pound dog running everywhere. And I'm going, how is he going to survive? How am I not going to kill him? Like, I was petrified. And then I was thinking, if I go to set, who's going to take care of the dog? Mm-hmm. Who's going to take care of the dog? Who's going to feed him? If I have an audition, is he coming with me? Like, all these things just, 3 days, I was locked in a room and I couldn't talk to anybody because I just didn't know what to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so traumatizing. Until the third day, I remember that I was still in Mexico, by the way, which is the most embarrassing thing because my ex-in-laws were like, "Is she depressed?"
Is she good?
It's so funny because now I look back, I'm like, I'm such an idiot. But at the time, it just felt, like, oh. Anyway, so I come out and I'm thinking, okay, as a very A-type controlling person, what am I going to need to survive? All the tools to learn how to take care of this new life because it's my responsibility now. So what I did is I downloaded Cesar Milan's book on how to raise the perfect puppy. I read it cover to cover in 1 day.
Wow.
And I started raising my puppy that way. Pepito was the best behaved dog in the world. Even though he came from a puppy mill, which, as you know, they are abused in the puppy mill, he was separated from his mom at the first month, which is super
That's
dangerous
not-
for
yeah,
them.
They have to be at least 2 months.
Yes, because they suffer from health problems and also from behavioral problems.
Yes.
So when I got him, Pepito was very violent, very aggressive. And I remember the trainer saying to me, "You're going to have a really tough time raising this dog." And I said, "No, I won't," because I read Cesar Milan's book. And in fact, it worked. And I did great. And Pepito was fantastic. He came to set with me. I actually took him to university where I taught classes, and he would come in as almost like a calming dog. So in York University, they would bring puppies so that during exam periods, the students would touch them
Anxiety.
to decrease the anxiety and all that stuff. And so I would bring Pepito to class. You know, I traveled with him in airplanes, bicycles, rollerblades. Like, Pepito is an amazing dog who just adjusted to my life. So my best advice to you is, I know that it's scary. I know that you're going to feel like you won't have control, and it's true, you're not going to have control. So let go of that, you know. But my best advice is gather all the tools that you need to be the best mom. That's it. You know, whatever you need, even if it's as stupid as I need a fragrance that makes him smell like a baby, do it. I don't care.
Well, yeah, my dog is not gonna smell.
Exactly, because
No,
Pepito smells now, but he's 12.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
his teeth are rotting. It is what it is.
He's an anciano.
You know, so Pepito's
yeah,
old.
he's part of the elder.
Yes, he's the elder crowd.
Yeah.
So you do what you need to do, and I highly recommend that book. For us, people who are very organized, we need to know what we're doing because that empowers us to make decisions, and it makes us feel better and in a fake control. But yeah, things are going to happen. He's going to fall or she's going to fall, and there will be pee in your house, accidental pee, shoes will be eaten, you know, things like that. Pepito ate like 3 pairs of my shoes, and I cried. But it's worth it. I can't imagine my life without Pepito, and it was something that I had to go through that made me an amazing mom after. So stick with it. Yeah, and I want to see her, and you bring her to be Unfiltered. We want to meet her.
Can I bring her to SAS?
Yeah, of course. Bring her to SAS.
Okay,
Dog
great.
friendly. Wow. Okay, so many things to talk about for the next episodes. We need to write this down. And yes, we will be back every week.
Yes, every week.
Okay, from now on till the end of the year. Many people have complained about us not putting out episodes, and I really want to apologize because I know it's not you, it's me. Really, it's not you, it's me.
Us.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's a combination of we've been really busy, and also the whole podcast situation, like the whole, you know, the changes in software and stuff like that have really affected someone like me who barely has time to produce. And so, yeah, so we apologize to our listeners, but thank you for sticking it out with us, and we're happy to be back.
So without further
The social media.
chit chat,
Yeah. So if you have any questions for Maria and her new puppy, you can message her at
MF Bruson, both Instagram and TikTok.
And your TikTok has grown so much,
I've
hasn't
grown
it?
a lot, yes.
Yay!
I'm almost to 40K right now.
Wow, I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. And if you're not following her, please do so, because she has so many good pointers about life in general. And then if you have any questions for me, you can message me at
Vanesa Tomasino, 1S, 1...
only one N, one S.
1N, 1S,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
On TikTok.
Oh
No,
my
no,
gosh,
TikTok, no. TikTok, no.
I can't believe I forgot, like...
This was your phrase. This was like your shtick.
1N, 1S.
Vanessa
Okay,
Tomasino,
I'm
one
back.
N, one S. And message me on Instagram. And I don't check Facebook, and I don't check TikTok.
Yeah.
But go to TikTok just to see how great the videos are, because they're funny.
Yeah, they're funny.
Yeah, they're great.
They're good.
But yeah, we're happy to be back, and we'll see you for the next episode. Have a great day, weekend, whatever. Bye.